Okay, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about temptations on semen retention. I want you guys to mind the sweat. Just got a quick little home workout because I couldn't go to the gym today, but today we're going to be talking about temptation. We're going to be talking about the types of temptation that you can be faced when on semen retention. Now guys, this is a spiritual practice, so you're going to have spiritual attacks. And in essence, a temptation is a spiritual attack. It's essentially something to get you to divert paths, something to get you off of your path, something to get you off your purpose, something to move you away from your pivot, right? And the most important part of this practice is the practice itself, which is the retention of your seed. Well, the first temptation that we're going to be talking about is drinking. Okay guys, drinking is very much a massive temptation on this practice, because when you drink, it lowers your inhibition, it lowers your ability to make decisions with a proper discernment. And so when you drink, especially as a man, especially a young man, you're gonna get more urges. You're most likely in a social setting, probably around people. You're just more likely to want to release your seed. So guys, be careful about that. Drinking, you get one drink in, you get 2 drinks in, 3 drinks in, next thing you know, you're drunk. And when you're drunk, you want to do things that you don't normally want to do. And so be careful with drinking, guys. Drinking can lead you astray. Drinking can make you want to drink and drive. It can make you want to bust one. It can make you want to hit up that ex. It can make you want to send that risky text. It can make you want to do things that you won't necessarily be proud of when you sober up. And so that's the first temptation on semen retention, is drinking. Because you feel like, oh, I'm retaining my seed, I'm doing great, I'm doing good. Then what's a little drink gonna hurt? But what you don't understand is that drink, because you're on semen retention, is actually gonna affect you in a much different way. Before, when you were a depleted coomer, you were drinking just to feel something, or not to feel anything at all. But now that you're the retaining man, now that you're a man, a spiritual man, this drinking is deeper than just a drink. It's a gateway to spirits. That's why they call the alcoholic drinks spirits, because these spirits are able to inhabit you, or at least live vicariously through you when you're making these poor decisions. And so that's number one. Just be careful with drinking, guys, especially on semen retention. Number 2, drugs. This goes hand in hand. This goes hand in hand with drinking, because when you take drugs also make you do things that you don't necessarily want to do when you're sober. And the importance of this is that because you're retaining your seed, you have much more information for that drug to affect. And so not only does that drug affect you, but it affects your seed. And so your seed is what you pass on when you procreate. And so if you're procreating and you've recently taken drugs, there's a high likelihood that that drug is in your seed. And so it's important to purify yourself, to purify your semen before passing it on. Drugs will make you do a lot more stranger things than drinking ever will as well. I've heard some horror stories of people getting on some hard drugs and just being total weirdos, just being just doing things out of character. And it's definitely not something that you really want to be a part of. Unless that's your thing. If that's your thing, hey, do your thing, you know what I mean? Just remember that it is a temptation, and you will be more likely to want to share this good feeling that you're having with somebody in the form of intercourse. And intercourse, in the normal sense, usually leads to a release of semen. And so it's important to be mindful of that when you're taking drugs and on semen retention. Okay, another form of temptation, and honestly, this has affected me the most out of all of them is that you're going to have these so-called love interests on semen retention. You're going to attract a lot of women because, let's be so for real, health is the real attractor. When you're healthy, that's the most attractive. It's not about how much money you got. It's not about what sort of status you got, which in a lot of cases it is. But on a primal level, on a natural level, it's your health. Your health is what attracts a woman because a woman wants to procreate with the healthiest male. And so you're going to attract a lot of women that come in the form of succubuses or like just Jezebels, people trying to steal your semen. But the difference between a succubus, a Jezebel, and this love interest is that this love interest will disguise herself as somebody who's interested in your love affairs or somebody who is interested in your love life. And when that happens, at least for me, I made the mistake of believing that they were really in love with me, or believing that I was really in love with them, and believing that this could go somewhere beyond me just retaining my seed. And the truth of the matter is, you're going to get into these love affairs and you're going to have sex and you're going to release your seeds, and then you're going to lose your character. You're going to lose everything about you, what made you special in the first place. And they steal all of that. I took that sharpness and then boom, ran with it. And so, man, be careful. Be careful. I mean, for me, I don't dabble with the whole sex thing. I'm celibate, and so it's these love interests that get me out of my celibacy and into the sex life, and it leads me astray. It's definitely not something that you want to have going into semen retention. And for me, I've noticed it only happens at the beginning. From the first 2 to 3 months of retaining, that's when I find these love interests. But it's another temptation. It's another thing that will lead you down the wrong path, and that's not the path that you want to go. The path that you want to go is the path with God, the path with retaining, the path with keeping your spirit, your mana, your ojas, your life force energy. So that is number 3, love interest. Number 4 is your body types. You're gonna have. We just talked about attracting women, right? Well, you're gonna attract women that are your body types. These are more so your Jezebels, your succubuses, but they're your body type. Everything that you used to watch on those X-rated sites, they're gonna come to you IRL in real life, and they're going to show the level of interest and show a level of attraction to you, but solely on the basis that you have the juice, that you got the force, that you got that mana. And so, be careful. Be careful with everything that I listed, all these temptations. The goal of the temptation is to get you to lose your seed. And as soon as you lose your seed, you're off your game. You ain't on your game. It's going to take a little bit before you get back on your game. And guess what? Once it's gone, it's never coming back. You might come back in a new season with a new level, with a new layer, but it ain't going to be the same. You will never get that back. And so it's so important, it's of the utmost importance that you keep your seed and you stay on the path. So that's another temptation. 4th is the body type. Your body type is going to show interest into you. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be hard. I fell for it. I think we all did. I think we all fell for it, at least at the beginning, At least I did. As a man who fell short, I definitely fell for the body type that showed me interest, what I used to be attracted to. And no longer am I attracted to body types. No longer am I attracted to love interest. I'm not attracted to any of that. But the 5th temptation that's going to come your way is situational sexual innuendos. That's what's going to tempt you. You're going to have situations where you think, is it naughty that I do this? Is it taboo that I do this? Or is it something that would have turned on your depleted Coomer brain? Like, we've all seen a lot of the same type of videos, I'm pretty sure, and it just seems like the entire goal of that industry was to what's the word that I'm searching for? The entire goal of that industry was to sexualize and what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a different word. The word was is to taint your sexuality, or it's a similar word to it. I think it has something to do with pervert your mind. That whole industry was was designed to pervert your mind, to give you a perverted mind. And so essentially what that would do is that it would just pervert your masculinity. Your masculinity was no longer true masculinity, but instead it was a toxic, perverted masculinity. And that's why you have all of these crazy scenes, and you try and recreate them with your girlfriends, you try and recreate them with your one night stands, and all it really is just putting trauma onto another person, because this person don't know what you've been through, they don't know why you're doing the things that you're doing, but you're doing them. And so it's important to be mindful of that and not to fall for these situational sexual innuendos. So that's number 5. That's the 5th temptation. Now another temptation that a lot of us talk about, but it's true. I mean, you know, I know, everybody knows. Your own mind will try and tempt you to release. There's going to be times where you're sitting there bored at home, nothing to do. Maybe you're just going to sleep, and your mind is running wild, and you're thinking about the shawty you seen at the cashier register. You're thinking about the girl that said hi to you on the way to the bus. You're thinking about the subway worker with the big thing on it. You know what I mean? You're thinking about this stuff, and it's your own mind trying to play tricks on you. It's your own mind trying to push you to relapse. And a lot of that is, just your rewiring of your neurochemistry or your neural pathways. A lot of it is just your nerves, your nervous system trying to rewire and trying to stimulate some sort of dopamine. But hold out. That's a temptation. We all know it. Your own mind is going to try and tempt you. But the last one, number 7 is the whole world. The whole world. The whole world is trying to tempt you. All the advertisements, all of the billboards, all of the Instagram reels, the YouTube shorts, these workout videos, these models, the entire world. You gotta understand, the world doesn't run on money. The world runs on semen retention. And so behind all these big industries, behind all of these generational corporations, was at one point a man who held onto his seed, had a vision, and built something, right? And these industries were built on top of that. So the goal of these industries, why they're pushing the agendas that they're pushing, is to get you to relapse so that you will never catch up to them. They're trying to chop. It's like a tree that grew up and tried to destroy every other tree around it. So these trees are already big. We always see these corporations. We see the products. We see the Kylie Jenners. We see the designers, the model. We see all of these huge corporations. What they're trying to do is stop you from reaching that level. They don't want you to get to that level. And so what they're doing is they're chopping you at the base. So the whole world is trying to tempt you. The whole entire world is trying to get you to release. And that's all I have for you guys. We're talking about temptations, type of temptations on semen retention. Number 1 is drinking. Drinking will get you fucked up to the point where you want to release. Number 2 is drugs. The same thing can be said. Drugs will get you fucked up to the point where you want to release. The third one is love interests. These love interests will disguise themselves as somebody who has your best interest in mind and somebody who's going to build something with you. But in reality, what they're meant is to take your soul. Number 4 is your body type. Your body type's pretty obvious. You most likely started this retention journey trying to find girls as an incel or something, like I did. And all of a sudden you gain this power, and now your body types are trying to come in, and you think, oh, I'm going to try it because I never had it before. So be mindful of that. Number 5 is situational sexual innuendos. So guys, just don't be naughty. Number 6 is your own mind. Your own mind is working against you. So tame that beast, meditate, do something, distract your mind, or learn something, or just meditate and really feel what your mind is how it works, what the triggers are. And number 7 is the whole world. The whole world is trying to tempt you. Now, that should be obvious. They don't want you to reach the level of power that you have within you. You know what I mean? You have the power to influence people. You have the power to speak your mind and have your opinions and not worry about the consequences. Now, as we see, a lot of people, these huge corporations, they don't want you to speak your mind. They don't want you to speak your mind, because as soon as you start speaking your mind, then there's a problem. It's a problem. So, guys, that's all I have for you. The type of temptations that you're going to face here on Semen Retention. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.